Hello space nerds! Today I'm going to talk about comets because they're super cool to look at in the sky, but what are we looking at? Look at that plane! Since we're talking about stuff outside in the night, I thought I'd film this video outside during the day because you can't see me if I film this at night. So it's really nice weather and it's starting to feel good, and so I wanted to come outside. Comets consist of three different things. They consist of what's called a nucleus, a coma, and a tail. Now let's go into what it is and what they're made out of and why can we even see them in the night sky. Comets are nicknamed the dirty snowball with good reason. They're mostly made up of ice, dust, and rock, which basically is a dirty snowball. In space, there's something called an Oort cloud. It is an accumulation of large chunks of rock and ice. Let's say comes along a very large gravitational force. For this instance, we will say that it is a star. So this star comes by the Oort cloud, and while it passes by, it pulls little outlier bits of chunk and ice along with it. Now, because it's a star, that means that it's generating a lot of heat, which makes the ice begin to melt. Or in space, what would happen is it turns into gas and steam. As this melting process happens, bits of the rock and dust that were lodged into the chunks of ice begin to get released. This layer of gases and small particles around the nucleus, it creates what's called the coma, or what's called an atmosphere. Comets actually have atmospheres. Along with stars generating a lot of heat from its body, they also have a lot of solar wind, which is what creates the third part, which consists of a comet, which is called the tail. So now you've got this nucleus, which is the inside chunk of ice and rock, which is still solid. And outside is what you've got, the coma. It's that layer of gases and steams and bits of rock and dust. But because of the solar wind coming from the star, it pushes that atmosphere out beyond and starts to begin having a tail. Tails of comets always point in the opposite direction of the star. Because it's getting blown away, there are two reasons we can see comets in the night sky. Is one, due to their orbits. So it has to do with location of a bunch of stuff together. And that's where it kind of gets cool. If this is the sun, and the comet is orbiting it in an elliptical orbit, it has points where it's closer to the sun and points where it's farther away. When the comet comes by, it comes closest to the sun that it begins to glow and melt because it's getting a little too close to it, that it's destroying itself basically. We can see it for two reasons. One, because it's close enough to us that we can actually see it, and two, it has to be close enough to the sun and the earth at the same time that it actually begins to melt. So for us to be able to see a comet, there has to be the combination of the comet's placement to the star and us. What we're actually seeing is the coma and the tail. We're never actually able to see the true nucleus of a comet, because what we're seeing in the sky is the reaction of those bits of ice and rock turning to gases. And those gases are extremely bright, and that is what we're actually seeing in the sky. Gas! Lots of gas and steam. So, we could say it's just a lot of comet gas going on around up there. That's a really big bird. Comet's nucleus is usually somewhere between 1 and 10 kilometers in size. A comet's coma can be around millions of kilometers in size, and a comet's tail can reach tens of millions of kilometers in length. Now that may seem really, really massive, but in perspective to things in space, it's actually a really, really, really puny object, because it's space. So that's the gist of what a comet is, and what we're looking at in the night sky is actually a chemical reaction of the ice melting and turning to gas. So what comets have you guys gone out and seen at night? And was there any fun bugs. Have there been any comets that you guys go out and look at, and what are the experiences? Were they fun? Were they cold? Were they awesome? Leave it in the comments and tell me your experience of comets. If you found this video helpful and informative and you like astronomy kind of stuff. If you liked this video and you love astronomy kind of stuff, please remember to subscribe to my channel. Please remember to give it a big thumbs up in the YouTube because reasons. So that's it for this super brief summary of what a comet is. I hope this was helpful, and over and out, space nerds, until next time.